This is Andy.
Yes, my name is Dustin Cavanaugh. I have called in the past couple times, and I sent an email to a few people, including yourself, I believe, with regards to some articles you have made about me and some possible inaccuracies with involved in those articles. Have you received that message by chance, or any of those messages?
I think I've seen some of them.
All right, and I've looked, and it still says I'm charged with illegally taping phone calls, and that's not what I'm charged with in one article, and then the other article continues to say something.
What do the police records say?
I don't know.
That's all we take. That's all we take. We don't make things up.
Well, the title says I'm charged with illegally taping calls. I'm charged with interception of an electronic communication. I'm not charged with illegally taping calls. For example, that's just one. And so the police documents don't say I'm charged with illegally taping calls either. I mean, that's what they're talking about, a case, but the charges are intercept of an electronic communication. If you get a hold of my charging documents, which you should be able to, I don't see why you wouldn't. You says the same thing. I'm charged with 7 counts currently, and it's gone from 13 to 7. I'm charged with 7 counts of interception of an electronic communication, which I'm not guilty of, but they'll find that out when it goes to court. But at the same time, when you're saying I'm charged with illegally taping phone calls and I'm charged with interception of a communication, that's defamatory because you're insinuating that recording phone calls under all circumstances is illegally recording phone calls, especially given that you also say in the state of Maryland all parties require consent to record electronic communications, y'all say electronic conversations, and more specifically electronic communications, when in reality that's not what the law says. The law has specific criteria that must be met for an intercept. For one, for an intercept to be made, and for two, in which cases that all parties must require consent for such an intercept. So I think, for one, the prosecution's incompetent, so they're trying to get a continuance because they have no clue what they're doing, which is why 7 charges exist now instead of 13, and I've not uttered a word in court. It's because they don't know what the hell they're doing. And I know this case like the back of my hand. 10-401 and 10-414, that's what we're talking about. They're going to get destroyed. In the meantime, I have people that are just assuming at this point that just because I post things on social media and I'm charged with this crap and what y'all posted, that I'm just going to record them for absolutely no reason, and I don't even do that. But because of your paper facilitating the narrative that the county is making by making inaccurate statements itself, it's perpetuating this idea that I am guilty of this thing, and people are worried that I'm going to be recording them in private situations in which I've never recorded anyone before, ever, nor am I charged with such. So it's very important that it be understood that why I think that it's defamatory. Because for one, these are inaccurate statements. They're truthfully inaccurate that the Herald-Mail is making. Whether they mean to, maybe they just don't understand the difference in meaning, the nuances of the language, I don't know. But the fact at the end of the day is it's defaming me. This county is doing it too. I'll handle them. But as far as the media goes, I've never in my life,
We report what the county says. If the county's saying something wrong, take it up with them.
Yeah, but you're the media. You're not the government. You're not supposed to report. But you did make things up. The title literally says I'm charged with illegally taping phone calls, and you're telling me that's a true statement.
I don't.
I mean, it's a simple question.
We go to the courthouse, we get the charging documents, and we report what they say.
Okay, so what in my charging document says I'm charged with illegally taping phone calls? Because my charging documents, because I have them as their mine, say I'm charged with interception of an electronic communication. I'm not charged with illegally taping phone calls. The title, the headline even says, Hagerstown man charged with illegally taping phone calls. That's literally what it says, and that's not what I'm charged with at all. So, I mean, would you agree that these are literally 2 contradictory statements?
I wouldn't agree with anything. I don't know enough about it to agree or disagree.
Well, I mean, y'all seem to know enough to publish things about me that are defamatory. I mean, there's the thing, if you're going to go bother to publish it.
You keep throwing that word around, and it really dies.
Well, I mean, it's my reputation, not yours, and I'm not throwing the word around. If you're saying something is true when it's factually not, and you're saying the law says something when it really doesn't, and it's making me look bad to the people, to the point people are assuming things that aren't even true, then yes, that's defamatory. You can call it whatever you want, but that's what it is. So I'm just kind enough to...
Are there documents at the courthouse that say what we said?
No.
None. We just made this
None.
up out of a whole cloth.
There are no documents...
Whole story up out of whole cloth.
There are no documents that say I'm charged with illegally taping a phone call. None. There are none. So unless you can provide a said document, then yes, you're defaming me. And I've told you repeatedly. So can you provide me a document that says that? Yes or no? Simple. Oh, yes, you do need to. Guess what happens when you find out that all these phone calls can be recorded? Because for one, these people are stupid. You can't intercept. You can't acquire a communication.
Are you recording this phone call?
For one, people cannot intercept an acquisition. Can you find in the charging documents?
Can you answer the question?
Oh, I've asked you plenty of questions you haven't answered, so I'm not going to answer your question until you answer mine.
Okay, then I'm assuming you are recording this phone call, so therefore my headline is correct because you illegally record phone calls. How's that?
I am not charged with illegally taping phone conversations. It's that simple. I'm not charged with illegally taping phone conversations. Am I charged with that? Do you have documents? Because my court documents say interception of a communication.
I don't care.
Oh, you better start caring because you don't know who I am, and you're going to find out the hard way if you continue upon this defamatory manner.
Threatening me?
I am saying you're going to find out the hard way if you continue to defame me, who you're messing with, because I'm a better media than you are. I'm saying you're fake news, I'm real news.
How does the hard way mean?
It means when you're fake news and I'm real news, then I can put into perspective the real news.
Okay, Donnie.
Oh no, I'm actually a liberal. I'm not a Republican, so don't even bother with that nonsense. Well, it's fake news when you're saying I'm charged with legally taping phone calls and I'm not. And if you keep pushing the issue, then I'm going to find another way to show you that I'm not, and you're not going to like that method. Like I said, am I charged with legally taping phone calls, yes or no?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure you're threatening me.
I am pretty sure I'm not charged with legally taping phone calls. Am I charged with legally taping phone calls, yes or no?
Probably going to have to call the police.
Are you willfully communicating this conversation to me?
No.
So you're not willfully talking to me right now? So you're... What do you mean no? So but you're not willfully talking to me right now?
No.
You're a moron. I mean, I have never heard such nonsense in my life. Here's the thing. I'm not illegally taping phone calls. I'm not charged with illegally taping phone calls.
You won't answer that you're recording this phone call, will you?
You won't answer my question if I'm charged with illegally taping phone calls. So, I mean, you're expecting responses from me, but you won't give me responses yourself. You said what?
I'd rather not be having this conversation.
Hello. Well,
You called me.
yeah, I called you. That's how that works. And again, I've told you I am not charged with illegally taping phone calls unless you can prove that I'm charged with that, because I'm charged with interception of communication. If you don't believe me, you can ask my probation officer.
Until you admit you're recording this phone call, I'm done talking to you.
Again, you will remove that or you'll find out in the long run when I sue you for defamation. And no, yes, I'm throwing that word around because it is defamation. You can call it whatever you want. But if you're saying I'm doing something, the charges don't back it up, the documents don't back it up, and it's making me look bad and it's harming my reputation, that's defamation. You can call it whatever you want. And the point is, you've basically lied to me repeatedly. You're a moron. You're fake news. You're run by church communication. You have vested interest. And instead, you've even admitted your vested interest through implications in your words, but you're too stupid to know you're admitting these things. But at the end of the day, like I said, I've given you the opportunity to remove it. It's documented. There's emails that I said to remove it. I said why. I said you're misunderstanding. And because it's documented, when it's found out that I'm not guilty because you're a moron, just like the prosecutor's a fucking moron, then I'm going to sue you because you have no leg to stand on with your statement. And you won't even answer the question. Am I charged with illegally taping phone calls? My charges are...
No.
You don't know, but yet you'll put it up and defame me, but yet you're too stupid to know.
You act like I care about your particular...
The thing is, I don't care if you care. So you want to lose lots of money? That's fine. If you don't care, if you want to lose lots of money because you're stupid...
Don't get arrested.
If you don't want to get sued, the thing is, I don't care about getting arrested. I've given you the opportunity to take it down, but you're a moron, and you do not know a damn thing about what your people are posting. You even said you don't care. Here's the thing. You want to know the answer to your question? You'll find out sooner than later. You don't remove your shit, you continue to defame me, you'll find out sooner than later what's going to happen. Don't fuck with me. Bye-bye.